as a new individual in the industry, my first thought was, "Oh, I just don't think they were cut out for it."
Right.
And then I got to experience teaching for a year and seeing the difference that it made in people's lives. And it just said, you know what? Take all of that mindset of this person isn't cut out for that and just throw it out the window. Whatever they're missing, you can teach them that.
If you can't write a contract on the back of your car on a Saturday night, then you don't know enough. All you have to do is show up. Just show up and you can succeed. Let's get to the point.
Okay, we're here today to talk about state of the market a little bit and then what our answer is to that, productivity coaching and launch coaching. And so every market has its position or its state of the market, things that are going on inside of it. In our world today, on the Emerald Coast, it's tight inventory, a lot of demand.
Mm-hmm.
And the top agents are making more money than they've ever made. And everyone else is trying to figure out what to do. And so our answer to that is a high-level productivity coaching program supported by a new launch coach and associate brokers supporting and transaction coaches supporting our agents. And so with that, I want to turn it over to Mark, and we can get talking about how do you help people get going? How do they relaunch their career if they've already launched and they're in this crevice and they don't know how to get out?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you think, Mark?
Well, here's the thing that we see. Successful agents have accountability. Successful agents have coaches. You look through professional sports, you look through top performers, they all have coaches. And real estate's no different. I mean, you can be paid like a mega professional in this field.
Mm-hmm.
And coaching is all about taking an agent and getting them focused on their life by design, creating plays to accomplish that, and then staying in that very process of staying focused on accomplishing those goals. And when we look at it as a whole, we're really talking about three sets of people. There's the brand new beginning agent. There's the getting going, but kind of going through the roller coaster ride of ups and downs of real estate. And then there's the professional who's wanting to scale their business. And maybe a fourth, the person who's done it and then has fallen off and they just need to relaunch their business. And so how we've designed coaching is we start off with, for those new agents, launch. And launch is all out massive action to take an agent who just got his license or her license and in a very short order period of time to launch their career with 3 transactions, 3 closings as fast as possible. And the person on our coaching staff who's really responsible for that is James Rao here, helping those new agents launch. And James, we're really excited because you're a new addition to our team here.
Absolutely. And I'm just excited to be here, trying to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, so what do you see in the life of that new agent? They're needing to launch. A lot of them, they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus in on how to launch a business and what you do to get them igniting, engaging, and going.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think when you look at a real estate business, one of the most important things you have to do is set your goals and then model your business around how you're going to achieve those goals. The issue is for so many new agents is it takes well over a year a lot of times to even begin to understand how to model that.
Mm-hmm.
So we say, let's skip that step for you. Let's go ahead and show you how to build a model into your business that's based on your personal goals so that you can hit the ground running as soon as you get started.
Perfect. And for those out there, when you think of a rocket ship on a launch pad, so much of the fuel is expended in that first, just to get off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And for that new agent, the mindset needs to be that of all out massive action to get going.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think people hear that, old adage of, oh, your first year is your hardest year. Well, that means you're going to have to put in the most work in that first year.
Mm-hmm.
You're eventually going to get to that point where you're getting those referral calls, and that's going to be weight off your shoulders. But when you first get started, it's going to take as much energy and as much active participation as you can possibly muster on a daily basis.
And so, from a coaching standpoint, we're really looking at three phases. One is all hands on deck to help the agent, the new agent, burst into production.
Absolutely.
Let's get those first three transactions under their belt. And so in real impact coaching at Keller Williams, we focus on those first three and we call it launch coaching. We transition then into what we call capping coaching or capper coaching, which is 4, 5, and 6. Agents begin to get the feel of a transaction, and now it's about let's get some momentum going and not get derailed with your business, because agents can go through the humps and slumps of a new business where they start working the transaction and they neglect the things to get more business. So it's really learning now how to continue to do the things to get business and build upon that business.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest mistake that I see in new agents when I work with them is they do what I like to call safe productivity, which is, the things that don't involve anybody else, whether it's designing business cards or making a website or going to classes. And while all of those things are important, they don't put money in the bank.
No, they don't.
It's the phone calls, it's the lead generation, it's the door knocking, and it's just getting out there and having conversations. So I think the big focus here is baking that into a new agent, into their DNA of this is how I make money on a daily basis. These are the activities that make me successful.
Yeah, and so through those first 6 transactions, launching and then capping, because in our market center, average commission, Jeff, is what?
110,000 plus.
Yeah. So the average income is that, but the average commission per transaction.
I got you. Is over $10,000.
Yeah. So as we doubled down on that capping coaching, it's let's get you to 6 transactions. 6 transactions takes you to a place where you have now capped with our company, which means you're now earning 100% income.
Or you're knocking on the door, depending on where you're at. But
yeah,
absolutely.
You're close. You're so close to earning 100%.
100%.
And our third phase of productivity coaching is what we call success coaching. And success coaching is the transition by invitation only for those serious agents. They're not dabbling in this. They're committed to the efforts and they want to scale their business. And we coach them from there to massive success. And some of the successes that we've had, I think of Travis in his first year, grossed over $174,000, almost 175. And as we've gone into more success coaching, he's now on track to do about 120,000 in 2 months.
Wow.
But it's all focused on, okay, you've got the foundation, you've made the cap. Now, how do we begin to scale your business into a business that runs like a business?
Absolutely.
And so those are really our 3 phases: launch, cap, and then succeed at a super high level. And so it's really exciting to see the development of that. And James, we've got one more component. I mentioned the 4th area. There are some agents, and Jeff, you've seen this. They started off with promise. They got some movement. They started believing their own press clippings, or maybe life got in the way, and their business has just dropped. And they've gone 3, 4, 5 months without a paycheck, and they're sweating it. If it weren't for maybe a mate paying for some of the bills, they'd be in dire trouble.
For sure.
Talk to the person who's out there who's in that place of what it looks like to relaunch their business.
I think the first and foremost thing is don't panic. See it through. You're going to get through it. We all have that phase when we first get started where we hit that slump in the real estate roller coaster. We're here to put fuel back in the tank to get you over the next hill. And so if you're having that moment where you're kind of stuck in place, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do next, and I'm seeing the people around me succeed in this hot market, we're here to say, these are the pieces that are missing. Let's look at what your business model is right now, and let's inject what you're missing so that you can be the rock star that you're capable of being.
And Jeff, wouldn't you say that person out there who's stalled, who's really challenged at this point, have you ever noticed kind of the pattern that they pull away, they get disengaged, they go into a hole, and it actually creates an ongoing problem for them?
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited about you guys and this program. It's almost like no agent left behind. So for 16 years, we've had people who they would go through Ignite, They would stick around for about a month. They would not show up as much, disappear, and eventually go out of business so slowly, like no one recognized it or realized it. Well,
Mhm.
now we've got a way with you guys and the capacity and the support programs we have to get people going again and get them focused on the right things. As I said in the beginning, each market has its hardships, its hard parts. You have to realize what's going on in the market to overcome it. And so one of the things we notice is the top producing agents, the top 10% that make it at a high level, their cars are in the parking lot each day. They show up, they do the work like you
Right.
guys were talking about. And that's what I guess, give everyone the confidence to show up again and let's do this. Let's get back to your connection with why did you get your license? Were you going to change the financial legacy of your generation or the next ones? Or why did you do it? And let's get back to work and we can help you get there.
Yeah. And we've built a whole system around this from every morning we have, or every Monday morning, we have a launch or relaunch group that meets. We have 4 times a week lead generation masterminds. I lead a group coaching every single Thursday. We also have a technology class every single Tuesday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have huddles for the mindset and fielding those things. And then during that launch phase, individual coaching sessions as needed when those needs arise. In the Y4C2Ts of Keller Williams, one of the T's is that of teamwork.
Absolutely.
And we run the coaching program like a team. And team means together, everyone achieves more. And so what would you say to that person that's out there struggling, needs to relaunch, but they're saying, but coaching is going to cost me 10% on 3 deals?
Well, I mean, that's true. But in this business, you got to spend money. I mean, if we look at the models that have been put forward by people that came before us, you've got to put money back in your business. I mean, we're talking 30% for your cost of sales or your expenses. This is that point where you need to spend money. I love the expression scared money don't make money. I love that. And if you're apprehensive about this and you're saying, well, I don't want to spend that money, I think my favorite thing about it is it's not like we're saying, here, you need to go ahead and give us this money and then we'll teach you. You pay us as you earn, which I think is fantastic. And I don't know, the way I look at it is if I'm starting out as a new agent and I have no idea where to go and I'm not generating any business, and my option is to give 10% more for a few transactions, absolutely. Sign me up. I need this. I would much rather get, 90% of something than 100% of nothing that I'm generating right now.
Yeah. So if anything, we would say it's a little bit of a success tax that only comes due upon success. And if your business is stalled, hey, you can keep 100% of nothing, or we can relaunch. We can jump in there. And James, I know that your heart and why you've joined the team is your heart is to help, and that's our goal. That's our passion, is to make an impact, a real impact in your life, so that you can live the life that you're really wanting.
Absolutely. I think a lot of agents, when they get to that 1 or 2 year mark, they've had a little bit of success. I feel like they get a little bit jaded in the business and they look at people being onboarded as, well, we should have let them know that they weren't cut out for it. And I am guilty of thinking that when I first started. And I had an eye-opening experience teaching Ignite over the last year. And I said, you know what, I think it's a little arrogant of me to say, you're not cut out for this. There isn't a person on this planet that couldn't do this job if they put in the work.
Yeah.
So let's turn that mindset on its head and say, yes, you can be successful. We're going to give you the pieces. Let's go. Let's make a life by design that is what you've dreamed about having.
Let's do it.
James, what tell us about yourself, your mindset changes. You just talked about that a bit. Your mindset changes through real estate from when you started to now.
Oh, absolutely. I was kind of pushed into real estate by my wife. I think all the good ideas I've had over the last 15 years, I can accredit to her. And she kind of pushed me into it. And once again, I had so many limiting beliefs of when I first started thinking, well, I don't want to go around bugging people. I don't want to call people. I don't want to knock on their door. I'm just bothering them. And then, I got into it and started seeing, well, no, I'm not bothering people. I'm helping people. That was a limiting belief. I've never done anything that wasn't out to help my clients. And then once I got to about the year and a half mark, I watched a lot of people get brought on and they didn't get the support that they needed. And they ended up leaving real estate. And as a new individual in the industry, my first thought was, I just don't think they were cut out for it.
Right.
And then I got to experience teaching for a year and seeing the difference that it made in people's lives. And it just said, you know what? Take all of that mindset of this person isn't cut out for that and just throw it out the window. Whatever they're missing, you can teach them that.
Right.
Absolutely. So I just love that I've had the opportunity to help people in this business. It broke my heart to leave teaching. I taught for 3 years in elementary and middle school, and I felt like there was always like a hole in me where I'd given up on that. And this was that opportunity to say, hey, let's fill that hole and let's change the lives of those that are around you and make it a life that they deserve.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. So, invitation. If you're curious about, is coaching right for you? Call James, call myself. Let's have a conversation and see how we can serve you, because your success matters. And if you're struggling, you don't have to struggle alone. There is support. There is a method. There is a path, and we can help you.
You thought you wanted to make $100,000 in real estate? You can do it. Just get back with us and get to Mark and James.